But here's what I'll say. Scotty and I have both been very honest throughout training camp about what we've seen. And the game looked exactly like the practices have looked for Bo Nix.
Okay.
It's a little good here, a little bad there. At the end of the day, you walked away kind of like, it was just kind of, It was not a good day for Bo Nix in the starting offense. Now, I will say this. Cortland Sutton catches that one pass, which was a beautiful ball from Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a little bit different, but then's the way it goes, and you don't connect on it. And it was a rough outing for Bo. It was a rough outing for the starting offense. And, you got some good stuff here and there. RJ Harvey had a few moments that you could tell he's got a chance to be special. He's got to stop bouncing that ball outside, but he's going to be fun. He is. Scott?
I'm agreeing with you. I thought that was the Bo Nix I saw for the 9 training camps I went out to. I'd even say this. Talk about Sutton could have made a catch. He could put about one more yard on the football, and he's got a long touchdown to the right. Was that to Vele or no, it's to Franklin.
To
Franklin.
He had 2 of them.
That were underthrown, way
Mm-hmm.
underthrown.
2 touchdowns probably.
But then they went back and showed an end zone of the throw. It seemed like he just nonchalant it. And that's, I said bored, and Pencil Arms didn't agree with me. But I thought he played like I've seen him in camp. There wasn't a lot of urgency, and he just was kind of nonchalant, I thought, out there. Harvey, you could tell the speed. But he ain't going to make it in this league if all he wants to do is get outside.
No, and, I talked about it throughout training camp. You saw it unfold in the game the exact way that I told you guys it was unfolding in training camp for both those guys. RJ Harvey's going to be fun, and I'm not knocking the young man because he's got some special ability. He's a physical specimen. And it worked a couple times.
Yeah,
when he bounced outside, it worked a couple times.
The first play was a designed outside run, and he picked up 7 yards or something like that. And he got that edge, and you could tell that if he gets there, watch out. But then everything else, he turned down the inside at least 2 more times to try to get it outside. And then I think one with a 2-yard loss, 3-yard loss, something like that. So, yeah, he's got to be better at that. I thought the first team defense, we're resting on laurels and maybe their practice on Wednesday, which teams will do. I've seen that before. Their touchdown run down there at the end, Benito got sucked in. He's got to be able to set edge.
Yeah,
I thought
so did Riley Moss though.
Yeah,
I mean, Nick Benito's got to set the edge, and then Riley Moss has got to know because Talanoa Hufanga, he came up on the inside and he took that D gap there, which means Riley, hey man, well Riley's always going to have the final contained,
right?
But you cannot get beat outside as a corner.
No, and he got beat, but Benito probably got held if you're being honest. But dude, he's on the line of scrimmage.
He did get held.
Yeah, I mean he's not up the field anywhere to try to force that back inside or wide. So, but then I thought he made up for it because his pass rush I thought was the next 2 possessions
he was tremendous.
I thought he was absolutely tremendous. Second teamers I thought played great. Second teamers and listen, I was talking to Ann in our little podcast thing. I've always liked preseason from this standpoint. We know the starters. We know who the stars are going to be. Someone's going to be hurt during the year. So it's nice to get a bearing on, well, what happens if Watson, which I thought he came in and ran hard and showed a little wiggle. What if he has to play? What if some of those backup linemen came in and had to play? You saw a little bit more from those guys also. So
hey, Blake Watson and Tyler Bidet both looked great.
Didn't hurt themselves, did they?
They both looked fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah,
the depth on the Broncos is crazy good right now.
The what?
The depth.
Yeah,
they're going to wear teams out. They are going to wear teams down, and teams are going to make mistakes.
Maybe so. I'll take a Stefanski look at it. If Stefanski can't get hyped up after what Shedeur looked like in his first game, then you can't go down in the tank because of how Bo looked in his first game. Fair?
Well, Bo was 6 for 11, and the one catch should have been made by Cortland Sutton. Tough catch, but he usually would make that. So you had 4 bad passes, and I think they were bad passes. There was that little screen he couldn't quite hit. He underthrew 2 balls. I kind of forget the other one, actually. But yeah.
One was to Franklin was going to be a touchdown if he puts it out to the right corner.
Yep.
Send it and let Franklin just come and run underneath.
They weren't like horrible, but I mean, you
No,
know.
they were bad, Dmac. They were. They were bad.
Yeah. Well, I said they were bad. They weren't interceptions. It wasn't like, you know, he didn't throw it away. He didn't throw a pick six, something like that. He took a terrible safety. You know, you got to be way smarter than that on that particular play. So that's a terrible miss right there. So, yeah, it was 4 bad passes and a bad safety and 3 drives. You'd want something better. And you didn't do much with the one opportunity you got after the Jaquan McMillan interception. I mean, you're at midfield. You like to see something better than a field goal right there. But he did convert a nice 4th down. He did do that. And he completed 5 other passes besides that. You know, it was like Sean Payton said, it was average to below average. And I think that's about right. I don't think it was horrible, though. I don't think it was like the end of the world. I think it was just a kind of a rocky start to the game.
The reason, like, okay, if that was the outing that they had against the San Francisco 49ers starting defense, you would say, okay, it's not the end of the world. But it does kind of feel extra bad when you know you're going up against the backups, right? And that just amplifies things. Look, it's a preseason football game. Just like the fact that Shedeur had a good preseason game doesn't guarantee he's going to be a great quarterback. A bad game doesn't mean that Bo Nix is regressing or that he's going to have a sophomore year slump. But it was bad, and it feels extra worse given the fact that you were – look, my expectation, and I'm being dead honest, my expectation was I thought we were going to look groovy, baby. I did. I thought that the starting offense was going to march down the field. They were going to score one series, get them out of Dodge. Hey, we're happy with the way we went. I thought the defense was going to go out there, get a stop, 3 and out against their backups. Hey, we're groovy, baby. Get them out of the game. And I don't think the defense was nearly as bad as the offense. They had one bad play from McMillan, and you take that out of it, and it really wasn't that bad for the starting defense. But it does amplify it given the fact that those the backups.
Even that McMillan, that was a hell of a catch and throw by.
But he was there.
He was there. The guy made a great catch. I mean, other teams are going to make great plays, you know, and that was at the 15. I mean, they could have stopped him, and they didn't, you know, and they converted a 4th down. They got in. I do wish the Broncos and Sean Payton, I'm not sure why he didn't go for it on 4th and 3 from the 50. I would have liked to seen you give that a shot. I mean, what do you got to lose there? So I don't know if he wanted to get something out of his punter or see something interesting, but
You mean the 36-yard punt or the 25-yard punt?
Yeah, well, that's I talked to a Muggle Insider about that dude, and you guys have said it too. He can hit some unbelievable long punts. I mean, he's got it in him, kind of special. But his short game, it's like somebody who's great off the tee box with the driver, and can't get the ball close from 100 yards.
Well, that's probably why he kicked it. If we're being honest, it's probably why we kicked it, because Sean knows that, and he needs to put him in positions where he can see what he can do.
All right. Well, I feel weird about doing things for a punter. It was 4th and 5 on the 3rd series, and he went for it, and they picked it up. I kind of wish they just went for it on the first drive. You never know what would have happened there on that one.
Well, listen, there was 2 preseason games this weekend that went down as ties, and then the one game they quit early after the gruesome-looking injury.
Right.
Why not always go for it?
I really don't know.
You lose the game.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I feel you. And in the regular season, I want to see him go for it from midfield on 4th and 3. Let's keep it going, man. Let's go. You never know what's going to happen next. You don't want to if they got the ball at the 50, hopefully your defense is good enough to keep them to a field goal at worst. Right? You still got a long way to go for a touchdown from the 50-yard line.
If you think your offense can score touchdowns.
Well, the irony is they had a bad kick, and then they had a terrible kick coverage, and the ball ended up right as if
midfield.
As if you went for it. So, I mean, Crawshaw's got to get his act together relatively quickly. You can't be punting from midfield and hanging the ball up at the 15, 20-yard line. I mean, come on now. You got to be better than that.
Yep.
But, these are all sort of little things. It's good. Hey, Jared Stidham looked pretty good, right, as your backup? Couldn't be much better. He was 14 to 15. Couple of touchdown passes. Trent Sherfield.
He's been doing it. See,
again, that's what he's been doing.
The game.
What are we doing here?
They say that practice doesn't matter. I don't know, man. Everything that unfolded in practice unfolded in the game. Trent Sherfield's been fantastic. Pat Bryant was pretty good. Nick Benito was great.
Yeah.
There was some good stuff. It's not all bad. And even though you won the game, I mean, all I'm concerned with is the starters. I know you love the depth on this team, and that's cool. And depth plays into it on defense. Depth doesn't play into it too much on offense unless you got problems, right?
Oh, I think this team is going to be carried by the defense for a good chunk of the season. I think they're going to give the offense short fields. I think they're going to put pressure on the quarterback with a lead. Look out. This defense is going to give this offense a lot of second chances. You're going to have a chance to be pretty mediocre as an offense with this special kind of defense. And I do think just as a game goes, mistakes for the other side will happen. So I was encouraged by that. But yeah, I mean, you don't like to see the game start with your special, first team defense getting worked by Mac Jones and company. That wasn't a good feeling. Seeing Bo take a stupid safety, that sucked. You don't like to see that. And you'd like to see Bo, make more plays, I guess, down the field. You know what? It felt like a big slice of humble pie. You're talking a lot of smack. You didn't look that special.
No. And Sean did back off that after the game. I don't know if you caught it.
Oh, of course.
I forget where I saw it, but what did he say? He said something like, well, this team's got a chance to be better than last year's team.
Yes, he
Hold
did.
on. This team's got a chance to be better than last year? You just told me that you've only had 6 teams ever that you thought could win a Super Bowl, and this is the 7th. And now you're telling me this team has a chance to be better than last year?
Yeah. Too many lattes, man. That's great that he feels like that. Maybe it's the truth, but seriously, dude.
Well, what do you have to gain? That's like
nothing.
Why do you go out there?
No, you just put everybody on notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think every team is going to say, hey, guys, that's a Super Bowl team right there. Coach said it. Hey, guys, that quarterback, one of the top 4 guys in the league. His coach said it.
Top four.
Well, so let's hey, this week we're playing those guys.
Good throw, top 4.
Exactly. Exactly.
I said that last week.
Exactly. What good does it do you? How does it help you? And, listen, man, everybody tries to carry some sort of chip on their shoulder. You don't think the Titans are going to use that? Hey, we got nothing to lose here, man. We're playing a Super Bowl-worthy team with a top quarterback. So we'll see. All right, so what kind of grade would you give it?
I think we just got to separate it. I mean, starting offense, I'd give it an F. Starting defense, I'll give you a C+. Everybody else, A-, B+.
Well, Shedeur graded himself after the game as a C+.
It's probably about accurate. But a really good C+.
Really good C+.
And everybody should be lucky to be that good as a C+.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the offense, I would give the defense C. After that first drive, I thought they buckled down pretty good. The offense, I mean, I don't know if you could give them a passing grade, not the starting offense. Second offense, third offense, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I would give them B's or A's, somewhere in there. And same thing with the second, third defense.
Well, if you don't give Stiddy an A+, I don't know what an A+ would be. He missed 1 pass. He scored through 2 touchdowns. He ran great.
Well, you know what was
like, if that's not an A+ performance as a backup, what is?
Was impressive for me is he started off like we see all in training camp, short dump, 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 and it's almost like everybody got embarrassed. All of a sudden, 30 minutes down, 30 yards down the side, 30 over yard, long touchdown. And you're like, oh, okay. And so that might have been a case where those little short dump offs finally wore San Francisco down, and he looked down the field and made a couple plays. I'll say this. It felt like he had a whole lot more time to throw than Bo did. Felt like to me.